Jim Florentine in studio. What's up, Jim?
What's going on?
I don't know. I'm a little freaked out by Uncle Paul.
Yeah.
Do you have to deal with Jim Norton doing Uncle Paul?
No, Jim only deals with Jim Norton.
Yeah, I don't deal with Uncle Paul.
You don't deal. How do you not deal with Uncle Paul? Chelsea Handler looking all hot.
Oh, look, is that Billy? Oh, I think I saw him coming in, right?
Yeah, we got Billy Idol today and Joe Perry and you, Chelsea.
Hi, guys.
How
are you?
You look much better this time.
I do? What happened last time?
Last time, I got to tell you, you were all like bundled up in a coat.
Oh, you want my body out?
It was nice. It's nice to see.
Yeah, sure. I didn't know. I would come like that all the time.
You had a winter coat on last
time. That's probably why.
I know, but you're all bundled up.
I'm sorry.
It's
sorry
okay.
to disappoint you.
You're not disappointing today. Look at Jim Norton's neck.
What?
Isn't
Is that a hickey?
Yeah, I actually forgot I had that until you just said that. Yeah,
She had to be under 18.
no, she was.
Is she Puerto Rican?
That's what we said. That's their culture. They mark.
Yeah,
What is
Puerto
that?
Ricans
Are you
mark.
Seriously? I mean,
it's very. I know. It's very rare that it happens, but you know.
yeah,
just
no,
a
right.
little carried
Yeah,
away.
if you can get something going, get it going.
Absolutely. I was going to say stop.
At what age should you not be getting hickeys?
21.
Like 21 even.
Yeah.
All right, that's some
Earlier.
couple years beyond. You
You're-
think?
Earlier than 21.
Am I too old?
I mean, it doesn't even feel good. Why would that even happen? I didn't even think hickeys happened anymore. Never mind. Why is, it's funny because it is a kid's thing. Like, why is that? Because adults know better. They're like, that doesn't feel good. And kids just think that they should bite on each other's necks. For what purpose? Is that what it is, marking?
I think so. I
She
don't
bit me a little, and it felt good. I was like, do that again. It felt good.
I think because you're not having sex at that point, maybe. So that's.
Yeah.
So the
you're
passion
just
gets the
down
hell out.
when you're like, oh, you're so, you're
That should be
riled
the
up.
orgasm, but
But they used to do that thing where they put your tongue in your ear, too.
Oh, remember that?
Yeah.
And
I
you
got a little of that
That's
too.
nasty.
But
You
it's-
got that, too?
I fucking loved it.
Some adults
God,
still
no.
do that.
Yeah, it's
A lot
nice.
of
And you
adults
hear the
still do
ocean.
that.
It's like, oh God, this is horrible.
But I kind of liked that stuff turned me on because it felt normal. It was like nothing deviant about it, nothing crazy. It was just normal kissing and a little neck biting, and I liked it.
Chelsea, and it didn't
Yes.
lead to anything else. He got a little.
That's even worse.
I know.
You got a hickey and nothing else.
Nothing.
Obviously, I guess she was probably exhausted after doing that. She's like, I can't go down on you now.
He got a little breast above the clothes. He said he almost got patched.
Nothing.
He didn't really dry up. And then
Did you quit smoking?
I quit smoking in 2001.
Oh.
Yeah, so no, I
I was going to say, you look really healthy.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I stopped many years ago.
And then she slept over.
But here's
He
the
had a
thing.
sleepover.
God, the story just keeps getting
Yeah, I know. It's a fucking horribly lame
That's why
sexual
I gotta
story.
bring it up.
It's a really cool sleepover.
Jimmy usually has really good stories, but this one is a little strange.
He might like this one. That's why he put
I
up
knew
with
she
that.
wasn't going to have
Yeah.
sex, and so she bit my neck a little bit, but she had been drinking. I'm like, don't drive. And she stayed over, and I knew it was going to go nowhere, but like it was okay. I didn't mind.
Good.
Yeah, I'm a nice
well, that's
guy.
good. That's all that matters, right?
Could you ever just
But
rule
do you
out-
really think he wanted her to sleep over because you didn't want her to drink and drive, or you thought you still might be able to bang her?
Oh, well, sometimes you combine thoughts. Why those things are mutually exclusive?
Nice. Congrats on the finale, the Chelsea Handler show. That was that was a good watch. Wow,
Yeah, it was really fun, right? I was surprised. I was like, this is fun. Look at this.
pretty amazing. All the people
I know.
that came forward for you.
I know. Really cool. Fun show.
Did you get
Good way to
emotional or
go
no?
out.
It looked at
No.
one point like when you were thanking them, but I'm like, she didn't seem like she was
You
an
know what? I
emotional
was
wreck.
like, at one point, I'm like, I better cry at some point. I felt like I looked like such a bitch, But I just was like, I'm so done, ready to be done. So it was a perfect way to go out in like a happy way, and not be a bitch about it and be like, I hate the show so much. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I made that very clear a long time ago. So it was nice to go out on a big high note.
What changed that you were pretty much done with that version of the show?
Boring. I was just bored. I just thought, oh God, I've got to do something else with my brain. Like my interests in real life are so far away from this world now. Like, as in the last 7 years, I'm interested, I don't want to talk about, I don't mind once in a while, I've just been away for 6 weeks traveling because the night after my party, we had a rap party the next day for Chelsea Lately. And then, were you there? No. And anyway, we went and I went traveling for 6 weeks. I came back yesterday or 2 days ago to start doing press, and I opened up a New York Post. I haven't even read or been online, with anything. And I opened up a New York Post, and I just instantly felt dirty. I was just like, because that whole cycle, when you're in that business, you have to read that stuff every day. And it's like, who gives a shit? Like, who cares? And so it was nice to get my brain out of that. And so now I can, be a little bit more normal, a little bit more well-rounded, we're a little bit even.
You look well-rested. Where did you go for 6 weeks?
I went to Spain. I went to French Polynesia. I went to Shanghai.
Really?
I went everywhere. I trotted around the world. And I'm not done. I'm going to keep moving around. I came back to promote this stand-up special, which is on Netflix, obviously.
Yes.
And then after that, we're meeting with a bunch of producers for my new Netflix show. And then after that, I'm leaving again. I don't know where I'm going to go. I bought a house in Spain. I was walking down the street. I'm like, I want to buy a house. And I saw a house for sale. I'm like, I want to buy that house. My friend's like, you can't just buy any house. I go, I can. Why else would I work like this for 7 years? I want to buy a house. I'm going to buy it. They're like, you'll never come back. And I'm like, watch me. I'll come back. So it was a great trip. It was amazing.
You really bought a house, though?
Yeah. And then I went scuba diving with sharks in French Polynesia, like black tip reef sharks. I mean, it was the craziest trip. I got some crazy boat for me and my friends, and we just sailed from in the middle of the world. You don't see people for days. So it was one of those trips I was like, all right, now, but I'm really into it. You don't like to travel, right? You don't.
I don't travel as much, but that sounds kind of fun.
That sounds great.
I go to UFC fights, but I kind of want to travel a little bit to relax. I don't do much of that. If I had a house in Spain, I probably would go to it, though. I mean, that sounds fun.
But Jim would look for the local comedy club in Spain.
Yeah, I got to do quick sets. Yeah,
we have to continue doing sets.
Yeah, you're one of those comics you need to get up all the time, right? Like, you have to do stand-up. Like, I don't ever need to do stand-up again. Like, I'm totally cool with never performing again. And then I always just get wrangled into it for some other reason.
But you were doing it almost every night, though. Like, you had a TV gig where even though it was only a couple of minutes, you were doing topical shit every night on television. So, I mean, that does count as doing stand-up.
Yeah, but, doing stand-up's a lot. So you don't have writers. When you're doing stand-up, you're doing it.
Right, yeah.
Hopefully. I mean, I don't have writers write for me for stand-up usually. It's the only thing that you actually do yourself all, autonomously.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, not that I wasn't autonomous on my show. Obviously you're making the decisions, but stand-up's just first of all, if people are that interested to even see you perform, and they're going to, pay for you to see you, you should probably show, it's great. I mean, who wants to give that up? That's what you dream about when you start doing it.
Nice. What about Shanghai? I'm obsessed with your trip still.
Shanghai we did a really fun road trip through the south of Spain to places I hadn't been, like Sevilla, Granada, Cordoba, which is beautiful. And I like Spanish people. I'm into Spanish guys. I'm into Spanish. Like, I can pick up the language more easily. It's easy. So I like Spain a lot. Shanghai was good because I'm like, listen, I'm 39. Like, I like to travel a lot, and I've got to really start to touch down in Asia, even though I was super passionate about going to Asia. Just as kind of like a fully developed human being, I know that it's part of my responsibility to go to these places and see. So I was like, let's go, because we had to get over to the French Polynesia. And so I was like, let's just go for 3 days so we can just get our feet wet a little bit and see. Then we can go back to Hong Kong or Shanghai. I mean, those cities are all very different. So and go back, and then I can go for 2 weeks. I just have to see what I'm getting into.
Gotcha.
So that's what we did. But Shanghai was it's like a romantic city. It's kind of sexy. Yeah. I mean, I was with a bunch of girls and my sister, so it's not like I hooked up with an Asian guy, obviously. Can you imagine if I did? If I just only dated Asians from now on? Yeah. I'm like, I can't shake it. I can't shake it.
So you guys don't try to hook up at all during this vacation?
No, I hooked up on this vacation. I did, but not with an Asian guy. I hooked up with one of the guys who worked on the boat, and then I have another little boyfriend, like a boy guy that I see when I go to Spain or Italy. He's Italian, but he lives in Spain.
Wait, so one of the workers on the boat?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great.
Did he know who you were, or he was just?
I don't know. He's French, so maybe not.
Did he speak English?
Barely.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a home
Chelsea
run.
Handler.
How many nights into it did you?
Oh, I got to wait till the last night because
in case it's a nightmare.
Boat all week. We can't hook up right away.
So you banged him on the last night? That's great. Did you know you were going to, or did it kind of just happen?
Yeah, no, I had my eye on him.
Oh, okay.
He was really cute, personality-wise, fun. And by the way, they do all these, they're great because they spend their lives on boats. They can go from boat to boat. So that you watch them wakeboard or water ski or kite surf off the, boat. They take these, and they're fucking amazing athletes. I can curse, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're amazing athletes, so it's super sexy. So once you see one of them in the water, you're like, okay, all right, now I get it. And then the third day in, I was like, would you mind going and doing wakeboarding again? I just want to make sure. And he's basically my friend's like, you're making them put on a water show for us every day. So yeah, no, he was really cute though.
Was he in good shape?
Yeah, that was fucking
How
hot.
old about?
How old?
36
he is.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll see him again too, probably. I like these casual encounters. I mean, I like guys overseas. It's very easy.
Right.
Very uncomplicated.
Less drama.
I live on the other side in Jersey, over the water there.
Do you ever fly them in?
No, I don't want them to come here. I don't want them to see what my real life is like.
Oh, you just kind of, when you want them, they're there, and if they're not,
yeah,
they're
I'm not gonna. It's not like I'm in a relationship with them.
Right.
Yeah.
I like to fly someone in once in a while, though. A quick flight in, you hang for a couple of days.
Yeah, but I'd rather fly somewhere, meet somebody else, and have them come to my house. I don't want anybody to see like how ridiculous my life is. Right. I just don't want anyone to see that. It's embarrassing, and I don't want them to see like that there's fruit labeled in my refrigerator, because obviously my cleaning lady thinks I'm retarded. What?
Was he good in bed?
He was, yeah, they were all cute. You know, whatever. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
I don't hook up a lot here. I mean, I would have a boyfriend if I've met somebody that I was into, but I don't really hook up with guys here. I don't know why. I think American men are probably like, oh, God, here she comes again. They have a language barrier, so I have more of an advantage.
That helps. And no hickeys.
They can't understand what I'm saying. Yeah, no, I would never tolerate for that.
No, I normally wouldn't either, but it was just good-natured fun.
It kind of suits you, actually.
Yeah, I'm childlike.
Yeah,
it's charming.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. It's just one of those things you do, and you're kind of like, fuck it.
Did you know she was going to leave a mark when she was doing it?
She apologized after the first one. She's like, I didn't mean to do that. I'm like, but it fucking felt good because it hurt. So I'm like, go ahead.
Did she leave marks on your...
Well, on my chest a little bit. Not nothing. No, I tried to get her to lick my nipples. It wasn't happening. Whatever.
Does that turn you on?
Oh,
yeah?
fuck yes.
I like that, too.
I don't like them bitten, though, but I like them licked.
Jimmy loves...
No biting, yeah.
He loves nipple play.
That's cute. A lot of guys don't like that.
No.
We're black or white with it.
No.
You don't like it?
No.
Why? What does it feel like to you?
It hurts or something.
Just even touching it?
No, not touching, but when... No, I don't
just
like
I got no sensation.
Yeah,
It doesn't do anything.
it just... It seems just silly.
Me, it's the fucking keys to the kingdom.
I have that thing, too. Maybe we should get together and lick each other's nipples.
Jimmy has shown us that he likes to just tweak his own nipples when stuff is going down. That seems weird to me, too.
Yeah, I'm a filth bag. I mean, I really am. Sometimes you just learn to fucking zone out in pornography, and you got to help yourself along.
Yeah, you do have to help yourself. I copy that.
But nipples are underrated, Armin. Thank you.
But I don't think they're underrated. I think certain people just have a sensation in their nipples. Like, certain people have it. And then,
Look, I'm pinching it now.
Well, you're not supposed to be grabbing them like that.
I don't
That's
know.
Your first problem.
Yeah. You got a lot of layers, too. You're not getting a good feel.
You got to go light.
You got to go under.
No. God,
Take your bra off.
What's it? Courtney Love grabbed my nipples. It turned me on a lot. Remember that we interviewed her and we were joking about nipple play, and she fucking pinched them. I was like,
She pinched both of ours really hard. You liked it. I hated it.
Yeah.
She's a dirty girl.
Yeah, she's a
Courtney
lovely
Love's
girl.
very dirty.
Is that who gave you those hickeys last time?
No, I would love. I think no, because she would have fucked. Courtney Love would have fucked. Yeah, she never would have said no, not the first time. She would have pissed on me. So you don't.
Are you going to see this girl again?
Yeah. She was really nice. I mean, she was a fun person, and we went out to eat and had lunch and walked around and took photos.
You hooked up after lunch?
No. I knew I was gonna see her later that night for dinner, but she came into the city early, and we actually had one meal and what you have just staying.
She had things to do.
Yeah, she had some wine, and I was like, "Don't drink. You gotta be responsible. You don't want somebody to get fucking paralyzed on the way home."
We should get some things done. You did a town hall for SiriusXM?
Yes.
I read in the paper
with
today. With Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
Why that? I mean, it sounds cool, though.
He's great.
Oh, he did the interview.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, he came to interview me, so he did me a favor. So yeah, he's great.
He's
like
solid. He's awesome.
I mean, he's like unbelievable how nice that guy is. You're just like, what?
So down to earth.
Cool. Yeah.
Has he been on your show?
Yeah, he hosted my show for a week once.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
When you were on
Yes,
vacation, I forgot about that. He did a really good job too.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
And the Netflix show, you still don't know what it's going to be.
I have an idea. I just don't. I'm not giving out details because then you have to answer a million questions about it. So it's kind of, we're still forming it. So this is my stand-up special, which is going to be my first thing on Netflix, which is available on Friday. This Friday? Yeah. 10th.
Yeah.
And then next year I'm going to do 4 kind of docu-series specials. Not serious stuff, but like me going to the NFL or me going to the NBA. Like shit I don't know anything about. Me going to Silicon Valley and finding out what streaming is, since I'm streaming now. And I don't know anything about technology. Just fish out of water stuff. So it could be like, I'll do like hour specials on whatever I know nothing about, which is a lot.
Yeah.
So, and then after that, I think we'll have a better idea of what exactly we want the next show to be. Because I don't want it to just be like, what I did. I want it to be something much different.
I assume you're going to reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
It'll be very different.
Yeah.
Why such a long wait? Is that like a contractual thing? You had to wait X amount of time?
I needed time off.
Oh, you wanted to?
I just was, I needed to, I like to bop around and travel. I'll leave again and go. I'm going to go to Chile with my brother. And I mean, I just love to go. I'm like that. I'm very adventurous. I can't sit still. So for not being able to go away, I mean, I had a great schedule. It's not like I was working so hard. I mean, the show was so stupid to do. It's like you had to work for like an hour a day. But you know, you have to always be back. Like, I could never go anywhere for 6 weeks. Most people can't. You know, they don't get 6 weeks off. So I'm taking advantage of this.
I would go out to L.A. once in a while. My manager would, if I was out there, I would try to do Chelsea shows. He's like, no, but they're dark. So many times I was out there, he's like, yeah, no, but they're dark Tuesday through fucking April. I was like, all right. Yeah, you were
Tuesday through April.
Yeah, you were away quite a bit.
Yeah.
So the Netflix show will be what, like 3 days a week, possibly?
I think we'll do like 3 episodes a week, but I want the 3 episodes to be like, you know, I'll do one weekly kind of wrap-up show, but not so totally celebrity-centered. But I'll do like one of those maybe, and then the other 2 will be kind of different things. I think it should. What I envision right now is for like Monday night 3 shows to appear, and you get to choose. Like Chelsea's with Diving with Sharks. Chelsea did this. You know, it's like it's just something for everybody. And the great thing about Netflix is there are no boundaries, there are no rules. You can make something 35 minutes. You can make it an hour and 5 minutes. My stand-up special is 71 minutes. You know, they don't care about. They're about collecting the right pool of like across the board talent. So they don't care about what's super promotional and stuff. And they're so smart. So smart. I mean, you have no idea what it feels like to walk into a room. I know you guys don't know what this feels like. and to be like, oh my God, I respect these people.
That's a lot. You're right, though. And are they leaving you alone creatively?
Yeah, they're really collaborative, obviously. I mean, you know,
But they hired you, and they're like, all right, she knows what she's doing, so...
We'll see. When we get closer and we have, you know, once we start shooting these specials, which we'll do in like, you know, probably in a month or so, then, you know, I'm sure there's going to be creative collaboration, which I'm all about if somebody knows more than I do, which in this case they do. But this is their first foray into this world, and it's my foray into their world. So it makes the most sense to me, and it was the only option for me. I wasn't ever like going to do anything. I said, let's go to Netflix. If we can make that happen, that's the only place I'm going to. Otherwise, I'm going to take a year off and I'll figure it out later.
That's a ballsy move to leave a talk show in its prime. I think Craig Kilborn was like the only other guy to do that.
And it didn't help him. Yeah, you're actually doing. You're going to probably wind up doing better here because Netflix you can get everywhere whenever you want.
It's global, so it's really cool.
People watch on their phone.
Yeah, then maybe I can get paid for my traveling. You know, then I can be like, oh, I have to go to Germany.
Yeah, right.
What was there anything you wanted to do where the network was like, no, that doesn't kind of fit what you're doing on the show? And
With E?
Yeah, where you got like a little frustrated.
Yeah, I mean, I was just frustrated by the whole situation. They just didn't, there was no forward thinking, you know, there's no kind of, you just had to present ideas all the time, and it's just not a good temperament or when you have that in your relationship. Nobody wants to sit around and bitch all day. It's like when you have a friend and you're just sitting there bitching about them all day.
Yeah.
Like it's just like that's not. Then you shouldn't either. You either need to tell your friend or you need to stop your friendship. So those are hard habits to break when you're in the middle of it. And you know, leaving a job means a lot of people are not having a job. But then you get your wrap your mind around that, and you're like, okay. Well, they'll be okay. Like it's not you're not responsible for these people for the rest of your life, and then you start to live a life for yourself. And this is like the next phase for me. I mean, I'm super happy. I'm so happy to not be working right now, and I'm happy at the thought of working, which I haven't had in a long time.
Well, it's great to be going from one gig to a break to another gig. It's like you already know you got another gig lined up. That's really a nice feeling.
I know. My brother goes, "You're pretty sneaky, huh?" I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You basically got a year off," and I go, I don't have a year off. I have to work a little." He goes, "Yeah, but you quit a job and then you have another job lined up in a year. Like it's like the perfect setup." I'm like, "Oh, I never looked at it like that." I go, "I guess I did." He goes, "Yeah, you never think about anything. That's why it's so annoying."
And it just works for you.
Yeah, because I mean, how many people actually badmouth the network that they're on, saying their shit network that you were saying about E, and you're like, man, they're going to be off the air tomorrow. They still didn't kick you off, and then you got another job lined up.
And then they thought that I was using that as a negotiating tactic. I'm like, I'm not trying to negotiate. I'm really leaving. I'm sorry. I thought you guys knew. I thought I told you.
Yeah, no one really believed it at first that you would actually leave.
Yeah, no, I left.
Because the show was so big and...
Yeah, it's a massive show. But it's kind of cool that you're like, I'm growing. I don't want to just talk about the same shit every night. I mean, it's got to be difficult that they want you to talk about stuff you don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
How close were you to the Ebola? Didn't you go to Africa?
Oh, I haven't been to Africa recently, but I went
that was a while ago.
A few years ago. Yeah, no, I wasn't that close, but I guess we're all a little close to Ebola now.
Yeah, if you've gone through Dallas or fucking Nebraska or somewhere else.
I came in the other day from Germany, and I was just from Spain. I flew through Germany, which makes no sense whatsoever. I'm like, wait, why am I on this plane? Going north to come to here to New York? But the customs line was like 2.5 hours long, and I was like, what is going on? They're like, oh, Ebola. They wouldn't let a lot of people in for like 3 hours early in the morning. So it was just like, you get off a plane for 8 hours and you're just like...
So they are like taking it seriously, at least.
Yeah. No, I know.
Here in America, we're just assuming they're letting everyone in.
Yeah.
Just putting them on the planes with Ebola.
That's encouraging, though, that they're actually making
That's
a
what
long
I'm saying.
line.
We didn't know that. That's good.
Well, yeah. I was just about to complain about it, then I realized, okay, maybe I shouldn't be complaining about it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we're kind of relieved that you were in a line for 2.5 hours.
God damn it.
Yeah,
we're relieved.
Fucking
I'm
Ebola.
tired. I'm just hot.
It's not a big deal.
We just believe here that we're going to just fuck it up, and the Ebola will be all over the country.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're flying these people in. I just don't understand that.
Where are you going to next?
I'm going to go to Chile. I'm going to go to Santiago. I think I'm going to go to, I don't know. I want to go bop around a little bit by myself. Like with no one, and see how long that lasts.
Would you bring a security guy with you or no?
No, I don't act like that.
Do they know you in other places?
Yeah, sometimes. They in some countries. Isa kind of is in like Latin America. They know me, and like London and Dublin, English speaking countries.
Okay.
But it's never you just keep walking.
So what do you do? Like if you go out by yourself, would you just go to dinner by yourself at night? Or
I would find a friend in a city and like
she wants to get some things done if she's traveling by herself.
Yeah.
She wants to get a little dirty.
Come on. Get a little dirty. A little nipple action.
Well, you like Latin guys, so it's.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I like men in general. I'm into men. It's fun.
Why Latin guys? Is it their mystique or the way they are sexually or
not
their
Latin,
attitude?
Spanish, not Latin. I mean, not Latin. Like Spanish guys, I like. I just like the whole attitude of Spain. Like they're just. I mean, obviously their economy reflects it, but people are like, that's the last place you're supposed to buy a house. I'm like, I'm aware of that. But no, I like I just like the mentality. Everybody's cool, laid back. There's no lines to get in, even to the best restaurants. Like nobody's in line.
Right.
Everybody's just like and everybody there's no judgment. People have fun, they party, and it's just cool. It's just like it's much more interesting to me than France. France is just like. Plus, I can't understand that language and I can't pick it up. So I just have to focus on the Spanish-speaking countries.
The Latin men are more romantic than the white guys, too?
I don't know.
Usually?
I'm not big into romance. I mean, obviously not. No.
You don't like to cuddle afterwards?
I mean, you can cuddle for a little bit, but not for very long.
She's like a dude.
That's great.
She's like a dude.
Bang him on the last night. That's what comics do. We go to a comics club. You bang the waitress on the last night because you don't want to bang her early. She's going to follow you around all week. I think just like a guy.
Everyone's always said to me, "You're such a dude." I'm like, I'm so not a dude. Like, I'm such a woman.
You are a woman, but
to me, I'm such a woman. And then, like, now that I'm now that I've taken a break from talking for a few months, and now I'm listening to myself, I'm like, I fucking am a man. Like, I really am a dude. I guess it's true. I really am.
Yeah, you make the guy jet ski while you and your friends watch him, and then you fuck him on the last night. Yeah, it's definitely a man.
Take a shirt off again. Let's see his body.
Yeah,
It's beautiful. That's total guy move.
Yeah.
Can you get in the bikini one more time? I didn't.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Well, what else? I would, if anybody else was in my situation, I would hope they would be doing the same exact thing.
Yeah, we all try to.
A girl, though, like girls should be acting like this, too.
I think so. I mean, why not? I mean, why should you have to settle down? Do you think you'll ever get married?
I'm just laughing at your body language. He's like, you think? Well,
I was kind of curious. No, I'm actually picking my nails bother me.
I don't know what you love sitting so close to the guests.
No,
it's
I don't.
So strange.
This is where I sit.
You're
they
a foot away.
Right but I didn't move any closer.
No, I know you're not.
You know who sits close to me is usually fighters will sit closer to me. Like Bernard Hopkins will always sit close to me and touch me.
Yeah.
Sometimes they sit closer.
When they're making their point, they like to touch Jimmy.
Once in a while,
it's
they
really.
do. It almost feels alpha, but it doesn't.
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean.
He's not trying to be dominating. He's just it's oddly comfortable and it's okay.
Yeah.
But there's no. I don't mind. I guess I am really close to the guest, but there's no.
Are you gonna read? You guys are gonna read Billy Idol's book?
I read a little of it last night. Yeah, it's
I'll
good.
eventually read it.
No, I'm not going to read his book. I read Joe Perry's though.
I got through some of Joe Perry. I stopped right about halfway.
Oh yeah, he was here the other day too when I was here on Monday, right?
Yeah, he's all right. His book's all right.
He'll be here.
They all write the same books.
That's all right.
Everybody writes the same books. Maybe you should read Lena Dunham's book. That's out today.
I heard it's good though. No,
I'm sure it's good. She's a great writer.
I heard it's good. I don't know.
It'd be great if I came in. You guys are all reading. Not that kind of girl.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's the title.
Oh,
it's a girl's
It came
book.
out today. Yeah.
She got a lot of shit because she wasn't going to pay her opening act, but then she did the right thing, and she's like, yeah, okay, I will. I kind of like the fact that she just reversed herself and said, all right, fuck it, I'm getting a lot of shit all...
Well, yeah. What do you mean? Why was she not going to pay them?
I don't know, but she was having people open for her book signings.
But she's probably not getting paid for her book signings.
Oh, maybe not. Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
She's got cash.
Yeah, well, she did the right thing.
She's got a lot of money.
Are you bored right now? Are you on Facebook? What are you doing?
No. I was actually going to ask. No, I swear to God, I was going to ask you about Joan Rivers.
What is she back?
Well, supposedly she banned you from her funeral or something.
Oh no, I didn't know that. She banned me from her funeral.
Yeah, I just got it off the Twitter. See, I just got it off the Twitter.
Oh yeah, you've got the Twitter on.
I got it off the Twitter.
No, Howard was just asking about Joan Rivers. Nothing happened. I don't know her at all. She just didn't like me.
Why wouldn't she like you?
I don't know. I think I said something flippant. Somebody asked me what I thought about Joan Rivers. I said I really don't think about her at the time.
Yeah.
I just said it. It wasn't like, it wasn't like the nicest thing, but it wasn't just, I was like, this has nothing to do with her. What do you,
Yeah.
And she was like, how could you, she needs to respect older comedians or something. I don't know what her issue was, but she didn't like me. But I have no problem with her.
She took shots at everyone else. She took shots at everyone.
Yeah. No, there was a feud, but there was not. A feud intimates two people. And so, I didn't want her to die.
Right.
Yeah, for you, it was overblown.
Yeah, all my feuds are overblown. I mean, half of them I don't even know that I'm in. I don't care.
But she banned you from her funeral. She said this before she died.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, she.
She banned.
No,
I meant. I was wondering if it was in her will or something.
I forget who the other people were. You were actually in really good company. There was only you and two other people. I think.
Oh, really? There were other people. That makes me feel.
But no, but it was she was. You were in very, very good company.
Good.
I forget who else the other people.
Well, Chelsea was on a boat banging a Spanish guy at the time. So.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't have went anywhere.
He was actually French. Thank you very much.
Sorry.
The Spanish guy was a couple weeks later.
On the
so
last
just try and
night.
get your fucking dates together.
Yes, and they had different jobs on the boat. Believe me, the fucking French guy and the Spanish
I sure
guy.
hope you're using protection.
Yeah.
I hope you're not, actually. I fucking respect the fact that someone just goes in there.
Raw?
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. What do you wear? What do you wear? Gloves when you go bowling?
I wear a wig. With a stranger.
Have you ever done that? I've wound up in a few where I'm like, I probably should have been a little
A
smarter.
few.
Well, yeah, I mean,
All.
Yeah.
Jimmy's all about it.
Yeah, I'm balls out.
Yeah.
You always safe?
Not always, but I try to be.
Good for you.
Sometimes you have a little slip up, but
You make mistakes.
yeah.
It's all right.
Just go to the doctor.
Oh.
You have a doctor. You've been to a doctor?
Yeah. Cell phone. When you're texting your doctor, you know.
Are you a hypochondriac?
I'm not.
I can see that.
I should be more of one than I am. Considering the stuff I've done, I should be much more of a hypochondriac. But I'm really not that bad. Occasionally I was like, is this a problem or is that a problem? But no, I have no AIDS fear. I'm not doing anything that's going to get me AIDS, I don't think. So I'm going to hope.
Yeah, I'm the opposite of a hypochondriac. I just don't ever. I was like in 3 accidents on this trip. I got into a Vespa accident. I have like scars all over my body in this trip. But I'm so injury prone. I'm so used to hurting myself that I just always kind of am like, whatever. And people are like, oh my God, look at your leg. Or my foot's totally scratched up. But I'm so used to it. When you get hurt all the time, you just have no value on your physical safety. And plus, I'm very, very reckless,
Right.
It's not.
What happened with the Vespa? Someone cut you off?
A girl got on it with me, and I've ridden Vespa several times. So she needed to get on with someone because we were going on this Vespa trip in Mallorca in Spain, and like this beautiful road trip, and there was no room, there was no Vespas left, so she needed to get on with someone, and I was like, oh, you can hop on with me. And I guess I've never driven anyone on a Vespa because you have to kind of distribute your weight differently. And I was like, what? And we just went right into a guardrail and she fell on me. It was a disaster. And then I was like, get off of my bike. I'm going on my own. I can only be responsible for myself.
Right.
I injure people a lot too. So I always tell people, don't get on a snowmobile with me. Don't get on a jet ski with me. I'm not really, I have no regard for my personal safety. So it's better that I don't injure other people. My cousin came on this trip and she's like, my parents told me that I'm not allowed to get on anything motorized with you.
You close to your family then?
Yeah.
If you're going with your brother and your sister?
Yeah, I'm close to my family. The good ones. Some of them are a little shifty, but the other ones are good.
Were they shifty before, or did they get kind of shifty after you made it?
Yeah, I think they've always been shifty. Sometimes you just, I'm close with my whole family in general. Like, I would always, but some of them you want to hang out with.
And
my brother's old. My older brother, he's married with 3 kids, so we haven't been away alone together which sounds romantic.
His wife probably won't allow it.
Yeah, right.
Knowing what Chelsea gets done on a vacation.
He's like, I got to go on a business trip to Santiago. I was like, oh, that's awesome. When? I'll come. And he's like, all right, okay. He goes, but listen, I can't like go out every night, go off. You know, I have to work. And I was like, okay. I go, yeah, whatever. I'll bring someone with me. I'll bring my cousin Molly. I was like, I'll bring Molly. And I was talking to him about his wife, and she's like, and she was literally like acting like I was like a lover. She was like, oh, you can just go and with him. I'm like, can I? He's my brother. You're his wife. There's not a crossover here. Weirdo. I was like, I felt like I was cheating, like I was like a homewrecker or something.
So, but did you notice when you did good, there's certain people in the family started calling a little bit more than they used to, and then you're like, ugh.
Yeah, but you know, I made terrible mistakes. Like I enabled that kind of behavior for so long. Like you feel like you have to take care of everybody, and then they get, the whole cycle of everybody, what you talk about, which is such a boring conversation, but it's so true. You just have to, you just can't do that because people, and I do it anyway because I feel like it's the right thing to do. You can't say to your brother who's like 50 and doesn't really know what to do with his life. Like, I'm not, you're going to live on the street. What are you going to do? Of course you're going to be like, all right, you got to try and get your own thing going. But, I don't know.
It's hard not to help.
It doesn't work for a lot of people. Some people are very good. I bought my sister a house and I went to her house.
Wow.
I went this like a couple days ago. I slept there and like all these things were wrong with it, like the kitchen, like the water pressure and all stuff. And I came downstairs. I was like, Simone, why didn't you tell me anything was wrong? And she's like, I'm not going to tell you. You bought me a house. I'm not going to complain. And the sink isn't working. The water pressure isn't good. She's like, I'll deal with it. And I was like, okay, so that's the difference between her and someone like, another person in my family.
Who would have called you immediately?
Like, Chelsea, I need gas.
Yeah, thanks for buying me a house, but the plumbing.
Yeah, like my dad is a total asshole. He's like, you've got money, you can do it. Like, he just has no regard for my lifestyle, or like not my lifestyle, my working. Like, he's like, well, Chelsea can pay for it. Like, my dad has a huge property on the vineyard, Martha's Vineyard, that we want to sell because nobody lives there. It's dilapidated. And we're like, we can distribute that for all my brothers and sisters so that I'm not really taking care of, I have to pay for his bills and I have to pay for theirs. I was like, can't we just distribute them? My dad's like, you can pay for everything. I go, but if you have a property that no one uses, don't you think it's the nice thing to do to give that to them so I don't have to keep
It helps you out a little bit.
It helps me and it helps them. They get a nice windfall. And my dad's like, no. He goes, why would I do that? He goes, you can keep working. You like it. I mean, my dad is such an ass. I mean, he's older and he's a little demented, but he's such an asshole. You can't believe it. Like, it's almost enjoyable what an asshole is. You're like, oh my God. The next thing, I mean, you can't believe the shit that comes out of his mouth.
Wow.
Yeah. We just got an email saying that he was about to get kicked out of his living facility, his assisted living facility, because he sexually harasses these women. I mean, he's really a dirty old man. And it's not like he's having sex. He's like 82 or 83, I think. And he is...
What kind of sexual harassment?
Like, grabs them, or he's like,
gives them hickeys.
Show me your tits.
What a great thing to say to somebody.
Squeeze the nipples.
Oh, it's just awesome to be old and be able to say, show me your tits. Right. What are they going to do? I'm old.
Definitely was just like, he took a turn. My mom passed away, and he was just like, fuck it. Like, I am going to do whatever I want, whenever I want. And he really has. So,
and then you could just claim dementia if they call you.
He doesn't know what he's saying, really.
Yeah. My sister's like, do you want to visit Dad? I'm like, what do you think? Do you think that's how... no, I don't want to visit Dad. I did my yearly visit. That's plenty.
Oh, so you guys actually, do you kind of get along or no?
No, he's sweet when he sees me, but like when it comes down to things like being a father, like, or, he just doesn't, he's very selfish. So.
And he says whatever he wants.
Yeah.
So you don't think he'll sell the property?
Well, he's going to, or he'll die soon, but he doesn't look like that's going to happen. He's
doing too well. Especially if he's chasing nurses around.
Yeah,
pretty stubborn. It's like, how long is this going to go on for?
Are you good at saying no? Like, if people ask you for stuff, like if someone in the family or a friend or whoever calls you, are you comfortable going, nah, I'm not, I can't. That's always hard to say. I never know.
With what, money?
Yeah, or anything like that. Like, if it's something that's just unreasonable, are you comfortable saying no? Or
if it's unreasonable, but I don't like saying no to people that are asking for a favor, unless it's repetitive behavior. If someone's coming to me and they really need, like, if a friend of mine who I've been friends with for 15, 20 years needs something, like, financially, and they've never asked me, of course I would not say no. But if it's somebody who has a habit of being like, would you mind doing, certain people, but you can smell that right away when people are like that, who just take advantage or just feel like entitled. Like, you've lived a certain life, like, because this happened, my brother lived with me for like 2 years when he moved to LA, and like he would get massages. Like my masseuse would come over and do him, he'd do me, my friend who lived there, or we did, there was a cleaning lady who did his laundry. He did Pilates. He's straight too, and he and after he left, he was like, we moved out, and I like had conversations with him. I'm like, Roy, this is the issue that I have. I can't just be supporting you. He goes, you told me to get massages and do Pilates. I go, no. Like he just thought that was part of the deal and didn't have any problem without wanting to contribute. That's what my issue is. Like, at least try to contribute. Even if you really can't, try to contribute. It's the gesture more than it is.
Yeah, just offer. Just offer anything.
So that's the issue. But, that's...
So if he would have just tried to or said, hey, look, I really want to help out, or can I do this for you or that for you? Yeah, sometimes it makes a big difference.
Plus, he also, wants to be famous, but just by nature of being, he's like, I'm Chelsea's brother. I should also have a TV show. It's like, based on what? Based on that you're my related? What are you talking about? I shouldn't even have a TV show.
What? I made you laugh when we were growing up.
Yeah. So.
Did you have him on your show or no?
Yeah, he used to be on my show all the time.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Okay.
He hates also, he's one of those people who gets on TV and starts shaking uncontrollably because he's really nervous. And I'm like, you're not cut out for TV.
Yeah.
Like, if you're doing this every time you're on television, you're clearly not, it's not your
Maybe
jam.
the first time is okay, but you've been on long enough to not shake anymore.
Yeah.
Well, as a stand-up, I mean, if you're on TV as a stand-up all those years, it's like you've kind of learned how to deal with nerves, or at least lie so it looks like you're not fucking terrified when you are.
Sometimes nerves creep up on you. I had this episode a year ago where I got this shaky leg thing, where I would go and do my monologue where you have to sit in the same position, and I would get that leg thing where when you get really nervous, and then when you become aware of it gets even worse. And so there was a week where my partners were like, what's up with your leg? I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what the fuck my career is about, standing up and telling jokes. That's how I built a career. I'm like, I'm going to have to start doing this, the cold open, as we called it, from a seat. I'm like, I'm going to have to sit down. And then I took told my doctor, he's like, just take a beta blocker. You take a beta blocker for 5 days and you just redirect your neurotransmitters or your neural pathways so it sends a signal, because once you're aware of something like that, it gets worse. And then it was gone. Thank God they have pills for everything. I swear. I mean, seriously, because that would have stressed me out all day long, knowing that I have to wait and try and get through it.
Right.
Would it only happen when you were doing the monologue, or just...
Happened 5 times.
But you know what?
And then it happened one time in the morning. I spoke at this conference at this breakfast, and it was out of control. That's when I was like, I had to call a doctor. I'm like, what is this?
But do you know why you were nervous? Was it anything that was going on? It just came out of nowhere?
Yeah, it was really weird.
Strange.
Sometimes it's we're scared, and I noticed, for me, many years ago, I felt like I was going to pass out on stage. I couldn't breathe. I would be on stage.
That.
And I feel like, you can't breathe. And I used to just stand there and hold the stool because I was afraid I was going to faint. And I finally had to just tell myself, just fucking faint, you asshole. I got so mad at myself. But it becomes a self-fulfilling thing where you're scared. It's fucking scary. And you don't want to just say, I'm scared. So it kind of comes out in some other silly way. And then you just kind of have to. I didn't know about beta blockers. I wish I had known about that shit.
I know. It's so hot. I mean, it's amazing when you have all seriously, there's a fucking pill that can fix anything.
What kind of pills are you on these days?
What do I take? I take Sonata at night to sleep. The sleeping pill.
Nice.
It's those little,
But don't they, when you take one and it works, don't you all of a sudden need more?
No, you take one. And
I'm going to try that.
And you used to take I used to take Xanax, and that was really kind of making me slow, all in all. It kind of has this long, my friend Brad, who's here, my writer.
Yeah.
He was like, he's the one who told me, he's like, it slows everything down, and including your brain. And over time, I couldn't retrieve my words. I couldn't think on my feet as quickly as I normally did. And which is, you couldn't think of names or something. And I'm like, oh God, it's true. And so I got off of that. That's really, because that stuff, if anything knocks you out to that extent, clearly you have to get back up. You have to, your brain is already sleeping. So Sonata's pretty light. So that works out for me.
You
better.
had to wean yourself off the Xanax, though?
Yeah. you just cut it in. I just stopped taking it and started taking this other thing. Now I take a Sonata. Sonata's a little lighter, so it's still not ideal. You're not supposed to take, a sleeping pill every night, but but it doesn't knock you out. I take it and an hour later, I just turn down my lights or stop reading or watching TV or whatever I'm doing, and I just go to bed. But
have you tried melatonin? People who give awful suggestions.
I know, at Whole Foods. Yeah, no, I haven't. Yeah,
it's good for one night.
Do you work at Whole Foods? Melatonin.
Well, first night it works, but then it's hey, is Brad a guy for you? Because he's a very funny writer and he's on the show. Is he the guy kind of who can tell you who can tell you look, you're fucking up here. We all have to have people around us who are able to cut through the fact that you are who you are and just tell you the truth.
Yeah, but Brad's particularly like they'll tell me Brad likes to argue with me a lot, but sometimes he argues for the sake of arguing, and he'll deny that, but he'll be like, Chelsea, I just want, because he likes to think that he's the person that will stand up to me.
Right.
Whereas I have those private conversations with many people, but just he does it as like kind of the head of like the head, for the writers, people like Chelsea, we think you should do this, or are you sure you don't want to do this topic? And sometimes it's a valid point. You try to be open-minded, but I don't like people who I hate arguing for the sake of it. It's exhausting. Just to make a point, just to be like, oh, I can stand up to that person. Sometimes I feel like arguing is that for a lot of people.
Right.
But sometimes it helps, too, to have people who can tell you, like, you're going wrong here. Because when no one tells people, like, that's just not working.
But there is a difference.
No, but I mean, like, Bob Kelly for me or Florentine will tell me just, what? And then you need people that can sometimes look at you and go,
well, you
what?
also have a good guy. I mean, you should also have a good gauge if something isn't working. Or, like, say, oh, you went too far. Like, sometimes I'll be like, oh, that's funny. We should do something that's, like, completely out of touch with reality. And, I don't think you want to talk about, your private yacht trip on this, like, like, in this medium. Like, that's not really making you relatable. I'm like, okay, I get it, But I have a good gauge of what works for me and what doesn't. What?
No, I was going to say, but I would like you to talk about that stuff because you would make it funny.
Well, that's what I do. My whole stand-up special is all about how ridiculously extravagant my life has become, and that I have no idea how to do anything for myself, and I don't know what happened. Like, there was a time where I was able to hook up a TiVo. Right. There was a time in my life where that happened, and that is not the case anymore.
Because all the energy it takes to do that stuff, to learn that stuff, to remember that stuff, now goes into just don't be terrified, go out and do it. It gets harder and harder you're just focusing on one thing,
I mean, I was like charging my phone this whole trip. I'm like, oh my God, I have my Mophie, my backup charger, my iPads. I'm like, look at me. I'm just like a CIA agent over here. It's just so awful. I mean, I got off the plane. I have like this system, like when I fly, because I always fly with people, like friends or whatever. And when I went back to Spain to deal with the architects for this house that I got, I went alone. I met a friend of mine from London, came over to meet me, and she and I came back, and I had to flow there alone. And they have greeters there for when you get to the airport, like they walk you through. I mean, they would literally like pick me up at the gate like I was like an infant. And they're like, okay, and then put me on this little go-kart and drive me through the Frankfurt airport. And at one point there were like 3 handlers for me. And I'm like sitting there like, and then they boarded me with the elderly and the babies. Like they're like, I'm like, what kind of service is this? I'm too embarrassed to even ask my assistant. Is that something we pay for? Or is that just because like I'm funny. A celebrity? I don't even want to know.
That's great.
Yeah.
They're telling us we have to wrap up. Chelsea's a very, very funny comic, obviously. Tell you who Chelsea is. It's called You Gotta Be Kidding Me Live. Netflix, it's on this Friday, or you can go to Chelsea Handler on Twitter or chelseahandler.com if you forget the date. But it'll just be up. You can just get it whenever you want after Friday. And just a quick question. Did you you did all the editing and stuff? Like,
yeah.
You shot it and then you were like...
My guys did it. I haven't watched it.
You haven't?
I did the show so many times this year. It's hard for me to watch myself. But no, they know what to do.
Once you shoot something, do you not want to see it after that?
Usually not.
Yeah.
You don't sit in the edit or even look at footage after?
I do if it's comedy, no. Now they know like tonally what I like, and they'll give me the notes and tell me what they're taking out or whatever. But I don't really like to hear, especially, my voice is like very annoying to me. I mean, I know it's annoying. So it's like, especially when you don't mind, it's like I can't watch myself to stand up for an
it's
hour.
annoying to you. It's delightful to everyone else.
It's
Chelsea Handler, ladies
Chelsea
and gentlemen.
Handler, yay.
Thanks, guys.
Yes,
right.
Friday night,
Thanks,
Netflix.
Yes, we'll be back.
Be there. To go to start doing press, and I open up a New York Post. I haven't even read or been online, with anything. And I opened up New York Post, I just instantly felt dirty. I was just like, because that whole cycle, when you're in that business, you have to read that stuff every day. And it's like, who gives a shit? Like, who cares? And so it was nice to get my brain out of that. And so now I can, be a little bit more normal, a little bit more well-rounded. We're a little bit even.
You look well-rested. Where did you go for 6 weeks?
I went to Spain. I went to
nice.
French Polynesia. I went to Shanghai.
Really?
I went everywhere. I trotted around the world. And I'm not done. I'm going to keep moving around. I came back to promote this stand-up special, which is on Netflix, obviously.
Yes.
And then after that, we're meeting with a bunch of producers for my new Netflix show. And then after that, I'm leaving again. I don't know where I'm going to go. I bought a house in Spain. I was walking down the street. I'm like, I want to buy a house. And I saw a house for sale. I'm like, I want to buy that house. My friend's like, you can't just buy any house. I go, I can. Why else would I work like this for 7 years? I want to buy a house. I'm going to buy it. And they're like, you'll never come back. And I'm like, watch me. I'll come back. So it was a great trip. It was amazing.
You really bought a house, though?
Yeah. And then I went scuba diving with sharks in French Polynesia, like black tip reef sharks. I mean, it was the craziest trip. I got some crazy boat for me and my friends, and we just sailed from in the middle of the world. You don't see people for days. So it was one of those trips. I was like, all right, now, but I'm really into it. You don't like to travel, right? You don't.
I don't travel as much but that's
all that matters, right?
Could you ever just?
But do you really think he wanted her to sleep over because you didn't want her to drink and drive, or you thought you still might be able to bang her?
Oh, well, sometimes you combine thoughts. Why those things have to be mutually exclusive?
Nice. Congrats on the finale, the Chelsea Handler show. That was a good watch. Wow,
yeah, that was really fun, right? I was surprised. I was like, this is fun. Look at this.
Pretty amazing, all the people that came forward for you.
I know, really cool, fun show.
Did you get emotional or no?
Out.
It looked at one point like when you were thanking them, but I'm like, she didn't seem like she was emotional.
I was like, at one point, I'm like, I better cry at some point. I looked like such a bitch, But I just was like, I was so done, ready to be done. So it was a perfect way to go out in like a happy way, and not be a bitch about it and be like, I hate the show so much. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I made that very clear a long time ago. So it was nice to go out on a big high note.
What changed that you were pretty much done with that version of the show?
Boring. I was just bored. I just thought, oh God, I've got to do something else with my brain. My interests in real life are so far away from this world now. In the last 7 years, I'm interested. I don't want to talk about. I don't mind once in a while. I've just been away for 6 weeks traveling because the night after my party, we had a rap party the next day for Chelsea Lately, and then were you there? No. And anyway, we went and I went traveling for 6 weeks. I came back yesterday or 2 days. It is a kid's thing. Why is that? Because adults know better. They're like, that doesn't feel good, and kids just think that they should bite on each other's necks. For what purpose? Is that what it is? Marking?
I think so. I don't.
Me a little, and it felt good. I was like, do that again. It felt good.
I think because you're not having sex at that point, maybe. So that's.
Oh yeah.
So the passion gets the hell.
When you're like, oh, you're so you're
that should be the orgasm, but
they used to do that thing where they put your tongue in your ear too.
Oh, remember that?
Yeah,
I got a little of that too.
Nasty. And you got that too.
I fucking loved it.
Some adults still do that.
Yeah, it's nice.
And you hear the ocean. It's like, oh God, this is horrible.
But I kind of liked that stuff turned me on because it felt normal. It was like nothing deviant about it, nothing crazy. It was just normal kissing and a little neck biting, and I liked it.
Chelsea, and it didn't lead to anything else. He got a little.
That's even worse.
I know.
A hickey and nothing else.
Nothing.
Obviously, I guess she was probably exhausted after doing that. She's like, I can't go down on you now.
He got a little breast above the clothes. He said. Yeah. He almost got patched.
Nothing.
He didn't really dry up. And then
Did you quit smoking?
I quit smoking in 2001.
Oh.
Yeah, so no, I was
going to say, you look really healthy.
Thank you. Yeah, I stopped many years ago.
And then she slept over.
But here's
he had a sleepover.
God, the story just keeps getting
Yeah, I know. It's a fucking horribly lame sexual story.
I got to bring it up.
It's a really cool sleepover.
Jimmy usually has really good stories, but this one is a little strange.
He might like this one. That's why he put up with that.
I knew she wasn't going to have sex, and so she bit my neck a little bit, but she had been drinking. I'm like, don't drive. And she stayed over, and I knew it was going to go nowhere, but it was okay. I didn't mind.
Good.
Yeah, I'm a nice guy.
That's good.
That sounds kind of fun.
That sounds great.
I go to UFC fights, but I kind of want to travel a little bit to relax. I don't do much of that. I don't. If I had a house in Spain, I probably would go to it, though. I mean, that sounds fun.
But Jim would look for the local comedy club in Spain.
Yeah, I got to do a quick set. Yeah,
we have to continue doing sets.
Yeah, you're one of those comics you need to get up all the time, right? You have to do stand-up. I don't ever need to do stand-up again. I'm totally cool with never performing again. And then I always just get wrangled into it for some other reason.
But you were doing it almost every night, though. You had a TV gig where even though it was only a couple of minutes, you were doing topical shit every night on television. So, I mean, that does count as doing stand-up.
Yeah, but, doing stand-up's a lot. So you don't have writers. When you're doing stand-up, you're doing it.
Right, yeah.
Hopefully. I mean, I don't have writers write for me for stand-up usually. It's the only thing that you actually do yourself all, autonomously. Mm-hmm. So not that I wasn't autonomous on my show. Obviously you're making the decisions, but stand-up's just a great... First of all, if people are that interested to even see you perform and they're going to, pay for you to see you, you should probably show, it's great. I mean, who wants to give that up? That's what you dream about when you start doing it.
Nice. What about Shanghai? I'm obsessed with your trip still.
Shanghai was we did a really fun road trip through the south of Spain to places I hadn't been, like Sevilla, Granada, Cordoba, which is beautiful. And I like Spanish people. I'm into Spanish guys. I'm into Spanish. Like, I can pick up the language more easily. It's easy. So I like Spain a lot. Shanghai was good because I'm like, listen, I'm 39. Like, I like to travel a lot, and I've got to really start to touch down in Asia, even though I was like super passionate about going to Asia, just as kind of like a fully developed.
Jim Florentine in studio. What's up, Jim?
What's going on?
I don't know. I'm a little freaked out by Uncle Paul.
Yeah.
Do you have to deal with Jim Norton doing Uncle Paul?
No, Jim only deals with Jim Norton.
Yeah, I don't deal with Uncle Paul.
You don't deal. How do you not deal with Uncle Paul? Chelsea Handler looking all hot.
Oh, look, is that Billy? I think I saw him coming in, right?
Yeah, we got Billy Idol today, and Joe Perry, and you, Chelsea.
Hi, guys. Hi, how are you?
You look much better this time.
I do? What happened last time?
Last time, I got to tell you, you were all like bundled up in a coat.
Oh, you want my body out?
It was nice. It's nice to see.
Yeah, sure. I didn't know. I would come like that all the time.
You had a winter coat on last
time. That's probably why.
I know, but you're all bundled up.
Sorry.
It's
Sorry
okay.
to disappoint you.
You're not disappointing today. Look at Jim Norton's neck.
What?
Isn't
he a hickey?
Yeah, I actually forgot I had that until you just said that. Yeah,
She had to be under 18.
No, she was a.
Is she Puerto Rican?
That's what we said. That's their culture. They mark.
Yeah, what is
Puerto
that?
Ricans
Are you
mark.
Seriously, I mean,
it's very. I know. It's very rare that it happens, but you know.
Yeah, no, right. Yeah,
away.
if you can get something going, get it going.
Absolutely. I was going to say stop.
At what age should you not be getting hickeys?
21.
Like 21 even.
Yeah.
All right, let's come a couple years beyond. You think?
Earlier than 21.
Am I too old?
I mean, it doesn't even feel good. Why would that even happen? I didn't even think hickeys happened anymore. Never mind. Why is, it's funny.